channel. I'm doing one more video on finance, and it's the sharpest minds in macroeconomics, available on YouTube, my top picks. I've heard before it being said that some of the finest tutors and teachers in the world now are freely available to you, and they're available on YouTube. And that's what I firmly believe with some of these guys that I've come to follow in relation to macroeconomics, the big picture about what's going on in the world, in finance and the economy. So I've already done a video on my top macro finance YouTube channels. This one's focused just on thinkers that you can search out and watch them being interviewed on numerous different channels, but I've also given you some channels previously that I think are really good. And I've also done a video before, why is government debased our currency, and debt delusion and the cost of control. So feel free to check out that as well. Now, there's a lot of noise obviously out there about the economy. Everyone's mostly got an opinion about it. Most of it is short-term, populist, it's reactive, and most of it is actually just nonsense. So what I'm going to share with you is some macro thinkers who I think make a lot of perfectly good sense. And these are the people who help you understand why things are happening and what is happening. They're really good for showing you the big picture and going down into detail as well about how money, markets, human behaviour really connect. And these people, I think, are worthy of your time. So let's go and see who I think are the 8 thinkers that I think in the financial field are doing really, really well in explaining what's going on. The first one is Macroeconomics. He has a YouTube channel called Macroeconomics. I watch this guy every day. He's a former banker. He's got his own YouTube channel, and he provides, I really think, contrarian views on the market and precious metals as well. But crucially as well, he really looks at geopolitics and throws out some excellent books for you to have a look at, to chase up and read, to get a good idea of what's going on in the world. So it's not just finance and economics, it's contrarian views as well. And that geopolitics has been really handy to help me find other channels which give another different side, different profile of some of the news that's going on in the world today, alternative perspectives. Number 2 is Mike Maloney, one of my absolute favourites. I've already recommended one of his videos in one of my previous videos. He's the founder of goldsilver.com. He's the author of a couple of books. The first one was Guide to Investing in Gold and Silver, and he's known for his educational content on monetary history and distinguishing between currency and money, and like predicting bull markets in certain areas like gold and silver, Bitcoin, sometimes cryptos as well. I'll talk about him. I'll make a recommendation of the first video to watch if you're new to this whole area, which is the one that he produced about 12 years ago or so, I think. I'll do that in a minute. Next guy is Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff predicted the 08 crash a couple of years beforehand. He's an economist, he's a stockbroker, he's a commentator, and he sort of talks again about gold and silver and analyzes mainly the American markets and the world markets. He's kind of very bearish on the US dollar, fearful of a American collapse based on all the debt that they have, and is not a big fan of Bitcoin either, is very much focused on gold and silver and the ongoing economic situation that particularly America finds itself in. Next one is a guy called Michael Oliver, and you can search him out. He's much more about timing of the markets, really. Again, he's a gold and silver analyst. His main focus is on really trading or understanding the movements of why markets move the way that they do, and his thing is really looking at momentum and the structure of momentum and what that then means for the predicted price of certain commodities as they move. So again, he's another person that's well worth checking out. Okay, the next one I've got here is Rick Rule. Rick Rule is a veteran resource investor, founder of Rule Investment Media. I think he worked with Sprott Money before this as well. He emphasizes opportunities, particularly in mining stocks, commodities and precious metals, and he often gives again a contrarian view and a sideways look at what most people believe to be correct. So he's very good for mining stocks. Not that he recommends most people go into them, and yeah, he also has a option with which he talks about a lot, where on his website, I think it's Real Investment Media, you can put in your precious metal or mining stocks and he'll rank them, telling you how good he thinks that those stocks actually are, which is quite a useful service because he's got so much experience. Brent Johnson. Brent Johnson is CEO of Santiago Capital, and he's the creator of this idea called the dollar milkshake theory, which basically predicts a strong US dollar leading to global kind of disruption. So his idea is that, everyone will pile into the dollar will spike and get more and more expensive before it eventually crashes, whereas a lot of people think that the dollar will just fade away and continue to fall in value. He believes the opposite, that it will increase in value before it drops finally away. So he's a good contrarian thinker, and if you like to get into the weeds about how the markets work, I think he's a good person to follow. Next person is Don Durrett, probably one of the hardest working individuals in the YouTube space. He's on so many different videos, and he has his own website called goldstockdata.com. You can see from the picture. He's written a book on the mining sector, and just trying to remember what it is that his book's called. It's called How to Invest in Gold and Silver, a complete guide with a focus on mining stocks. And it is an excellent book for getting you to really think about the different sectors of mining stocks and the pros and cons of investing in different kinds of mining stocks, whether they be explorers, whether they be developers, or whether they be actually producers. And if they're producers, whether they're junior, whether they're middling, or whether they're major producers, and all the difference that comes from investing in those different areas of mining stocks. So he's really good. He's got his own talk, but his own YouTube channel, but you'll find him on lots of others as well. And so much of information is free, and he freely talks about what he believes are some of the best mining companies that he comes across as he does his videos. So it's well worth sticking to look what he actually talks about and what companies he highlights. I know from my experience that the companies that I've seen him highlight have performed amazingly well over this last year or so. And last but not least, an individual called Luke Groman. He's the founder of Forest for the Trees, FFTT, which is a macroeconomic research firm. Again, he analyses global debt, sovereign bubbles, the role of gold in rebalancing economies. What's good about his channel is that people just write into him and ask him questions, and he just answers those questions directly. Again, he's another contrarian thinker. He's just really good and clear in explaining how things actually work. So again, although he's got his own channel, you can just search his name into YouTube and you'll find lots of interviews with him from other sites. So they're all prominent financial analysts, investors, educators and commentators, and they all specialise in the big picture around, the economy, monetary policy, investing in gold and silver, etc. I would suggest that the very first one, as I mentioned in a previous video, that you look for is Hidden Secrets of Money, episode 1, which is by Mike Maloney. So one of the guys that I already talked about. Just type into YouTube Hidden Secrets of Money. It's got a huge viewing, a huge amount of people have already seen it. It's just an excellent video, and it will take you as an introduction into this whole area. So, just a quote from Tony Robbins: my whole life I've been obsessed with looking at how you can help people improve their lives. I've always focused on things that really matter to people, like their bodies, emotions, relationships, finances, career, and the spiritual side of life. And I just wanted to emphasize that at the moment we're just looking at the finance side, but I do intend to look at body, emotion, relationships, career, as well as the spiritual side of life as well. And just to finish his quote, that said, what many people forget is that wealth is nearly worthless without your health, and that is an area that I'm going to be focusing on next. So if you have any questions or queries, please feel free to drop me a like or leave me a comment at the bottom of this video. I'm hoping the sound is a lot better this time than in the previous ones. The name of this channel, by the way, is Full Spectrum Dharma, and it is provided by the Feeling Well Company. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I'll speak to you again. Stay tuned.